Hello everyone, it's your bud. Today we're going to be talking about Nakai the Wanderer, the most epic and awesome Kroxagar of the Lizardmen race in Warhammer. Lizardmen are one of the many playable factions in the Warhammer game. Within the world of Warhammer Fantasy, before time itself, there were the Old Ones, a race whose empire spanned space and time, who changed the very planet's orbit to warm and bring life, then creating the Lizardmen to enact their plans. Priests of the Lizardmen were the only beings capable of comprehending the Old Ones' psychic might without having their bodies or minds destroyed. And so, the Old Ones molded the race of Lizardmen into their aides and helpers. The Slan priests interpreted, the Skinks searched the sky in astronomy and scouted the jungles, and the Kroxagars built the temples and defended them. All Lizardmen were of one race, molded to fit each role needed by the Old Ones. And over the centuries, they built and ruled in the Old Ones' stead, as masters of all the world. Then the younger races were discovered, elves, men, and dwarves, and the Kroxagars were called upon to cleanse them. Then abruptly, the Old Ones disappeared, and the Lizardmen were left alone, masters of the world with all their resources, and with the greatest understanding of the Old Ones' intent and plans out of any other beings in existence. Over the coming centuries, whether it was through the return of chaos or whether it was the lack of the guiding hands of the Old Ones, the Kroxagars were born smaller and less powerful, and the Slan priests less psychically potent. Yet out of all those from the time of the Old Ones, priests remained, their bodies preserved through psychic mummification. And there is yet one Kroxagar that still roams from some of the first spawnings, the mighty Nakai, known as Nakai the Wanderer, as he swore loyalty to no particular god and plays no favorites, only roaming to wherever the next battle may be. Many times his presence is the only warning one may get that a battle is going to occur, and many scouts and guards have been warned of the coming battle by simply having him appear, sometimes even showing up within the hours leading up to a fight. His armored scales are so powerful, and as mentioned, are more sturdy and able to withstand much more damage than his younger Lizardmen can. Being centuries old, Nakai has entered into legend, born at a time when Lizardmen were born more powerful. And although sometimes assumed dead, he always returns again a few centuries later, wandering out of the jungle to start a fight, and when he's seen by the other Lizardmen, he's treated with honor and reverence, being adorned with gifts and cared for by his kin. The Lizardmen are an awesome race, an ancient people with both physical and psychic might, and an intellect and level of understanding that would take centuries for any other race to achieve. Their long history and teachings by the Old Ones have given them a place in the world that they will keep as long as there are those like Nakai to protect them. I really like crocodiles in general. I think Sobek, the Egyptian god, is one of the best ever, and I absolutely love the fact that the Egyptian city dedicated to Sobek was referred to by the Greeks as Crocodilopolis. Yes, that's right, Crocodilopolis, the best named city in human history. Could there be a better name for a city? Crocodilopolis had a temple with something called the Son of Sobek, a giant crocodile worshipped and cared for by the village. It ate better than the villagers themselves and grew to an insane size, and people apparently kept crocodiles as pets in Crocodilopolis, and Sobek is pretty cool. The reason I like Sobek so much is he's more of a god of, well, just instinct. You don't even hesitate to the fact that Sobek is a crocodile that will just devour something. However, there's this side to Sobek where if Sobek sees a child of a god in the river and the child is drowning, Sobek might save the child. There's this thing where crocodiles are seen as like protectors, but also as like you know, the cycle of life. If they're hungry, they'll eat you, but otherwise Sobek could like actually help you. But the thing that I really like, Sobek one point sees some god gets killed and parts of him are in the river, and Sobek just starts eating those parts, but all the other gods hate him for doing that because it's like sacrilege. But Sobek's just like, what? Whether it's a god or a human, if I see bits and pieces floating through the river, I'm gonna eat it. So I really like Sobek. It's so like tied to nature. If the Egyptians built him a city and the Greeks visited it if the Egyptians built him a city and the Greeks visited it enough to give it a name, then I'm sure there's other people who like this topic as much as me. I think Nakai and the Croxigars are some of the best crocodile monster designs ever. It looks powerful and strong, being burly and heavy, but also looks like it would be devastating to fight in the water or the shallows of a river. Imagine if you had to check every fountain in the palace just to see if a Croxigar was in the water. You wouldn't expect palace guards in the palace fountain. Nakai is awesome looking, and I'm glad I get to share some cool art with you. I hope you enjoyed learning about Nakai the Wanderer. Leave a like if you want me to make more Warhammer videos, or if there's anything else in this video that you enjoyed. A like shows me you enjoy this topic and want more. Subscribe for daily videos, and leave any questions or suggestions in the comments below, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Thanks for watching.